Alright guys, so today I wanted to sidetrack a little and talk about the basic principles of the Latin words that we use today to describe the mythic cults and the Illuminati and all of the crazy phenomenons that we know of in the world to maybe be true or not. So I wanted to start with the idea of the Enlightenment era when 18th century Europe was big into a progressive state. They were trying to get away from the power of the Catholic Church, and they were trying to get away from the power of a complete monarchy and those fundamental ideas, and they were also reaching an Enlightenment period when it came to science and technology and developmental things. And I wanted to basically take it back a bit and talk about the idea of the Illuminati, because the Illuminati, its name means in Latin enlightenment, or to be enlightened, to see something. The occult, which is the other mythical order that we hear of, the occult, its name is to mean hidden, out of sight. They're literally kind of the opposites of each other. But I don't think that that means they have nothing to do with each other. I think the Illuminati came from the occult in some way. Because if Illuminati means to see, then that means that at one point, when they started to arise or become dominant or become heard of or make, their pretenses on the world known to the public, like John Locke, or well, there's so many people that are considered a part of the Illuminati, but the old school ones, the ones that were the thinkers, the Voltaire and all of those controversial ones that really got people thinking, I think it was because they discovered the ideas of the occult, or maybe they decided to bring the occult's ideas to light, to life, bring it out in the open, illuminate it, make it so people could see it if they wanted to. Because the idea of the occult, and I'm going to draw a picture here, the idea of the occult is that triangle, right? Well, that's their point, because people who are here at the top of the triangle, they are the ones that know the most. And the bottom of the triangle shows the base of common knowledge, right? But for the occult, the people who know the most and who have the most knowledge are the most powerful or the most well-off compared to the others. Now, that's not... You could take that in a lot of different ways. You could say that that means that because they know so much that they're richer or more powerful military, or have more food and resources. You could say it's any one of those things, but you wouldn't know for sure without actually meeting someone like that or people like that. So that is their starting point. That's the point of the occult, of the secret occult. I don't know necessarily about an evil one, but of a secret one, that's the point, is to know more than everyone else out there in the world, ever. The knowledge, I don't know what that is. Obviously, I don't seem much like an occultist myself, and I don't think I am. But the knowledge is key. I don't know what the knowledge is. There's lesser knowledge and greater knowledge. Lesser knowledge is in the lower half of the rings, or the lower half of the triangle, and greater knowledge is in the higher half. And obviously, with greater knowledge comes greater power and responsibility, and then comes the ideals of faith. And I think that probably the greater knowledge has more to do with phenomenons or faith or miracles or superpowers, as close as you could call it that, than the bottom half. The bottom half has to deal with understanding basic principles of life, but the greater half has to do with the other realm, the astral planes, right? Then the Illuminati, their goal is to see. Their goal as the Illuminati is to be enlightened. And it just so happens, and I don't know why it's on our dollar bills, but it just so happens that the Illuminati take this symbol, which is a triangle with an eye through it, right? Why is that? Why would they take, of all the symbols that they could take, or of all the symbols that could be manifested in their likeness and after them to represent them being a part of something, why would they choose kind of like a mockery against the occult, you know? They choose something that shows they see through that knowledge. They see a little bit into that, and that they understand it. Because to be illuminated is to see, to bring to light. So I think that the Illuminati was probably started in not necessarily opposition, but in hopes of changing the ways of the occult, because the book I was reading, Occult America, is probably more closely to the Illuminati than any occult you'd ever hear of, because their idea is about liberalism, is about bringing people knowledge, is about giving people useful tools to help them better themselves in their life. And that's exactly what the Illuminati seems to represent, even though people have their conceptions of it being secretive still and of it being everywhere. And they, of course, they're all going to have these ideas because people have imaginations, and let them use them. And if any of them are right or half of them are right, then good for them. But the point is what I see isn't from a misconception or something just thought of. It's just coincidental, maybe, or odd comparisons between the two when you look at the way one operates compared to the other, how one seems to pry open the other for some reason, to show us probably things we don't necessarily know or understand in the world. And I think that's why the Illuminati was made in the first place. I think they were made to become the Enlightenment, to become the truth seeker of all mankind for the betterment of us, instead of it being in that old school way of the few that have power and the few that dominate over the many. I think they want to change that and bring that into a different way of thinking. And I just wanted to go back a little and talk about that because, you know I may have jumped ahead a little bit in what I was talking about yesterday, and I kind of wanted to talk about the foundation of where it might have come from. And of course I'll do more research on it, and I'm going to be reading those books more. And if you guys have any questions or want to know anything that I'm curious about or want to talk to me about anything, feel free. And if you want me to talk about anything in future videos, by all means, go ahead and ask. And I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday. Over and out.